Hello everyone, welcome to Life Science with Veena and the Biolingo series. Today we are going to see the difference between acclimation and acclimatization. Students often confuse between these two terminologies. Today we are going to understand these two terminologies in detail. So what these terms collectively can be called as? These are the physiological adaptations or physiological adjustments to the environmental change. However, in biology, we can call these terms collectively as a phenotypic plasticity. That is the ability of an organism to alter or to change its physiology or its morphology or behavior in response to environmental conditions through the genetic or non-genetic change. Sometimes it could be a genetic change, it could be a non-genetic change. Particularly if you talk about acclimation or acclimatization, it is a non-genetic change. So it is a physiological adjustment or it is a phenotypic plasticity. Now let us understand these terms one by one. If you talk about acclimation, so acclimation means it is an adjustment to a single environmental factor or single environmental stressor or abiotic factor or biotic factor, and that too under a controlled condition or lab conditions, which is artificial or experimental setup. For example, the fish which is set up in the lab to low oxygen, hypoxia, okay, or any other condition which is temperature or any other organism maintained artificially or experiment for the experimental purpose under the control of single environmental factor. Second example is I have given is plant kept at higher temperature in the growth chamber. If you know more examples of acclimation, you can post it in the comment section. Let us move to acclimatization. So acclimation was one stressor, whereas acclimatization is multiple environmental factors are involved for the change or physiological adaptation in a natural environment, and it occurs under a natural conditions. Example is humans which are adapting to high altitudes or desert animals adapting to the increased temperature. So this is occurring due to the natural phenomena. So multiple environmental factors. For example, human adapting to high altitude means height is one factor, and the air will be air pressure will be different than the normal altitude, so that is another factor. So there are multiple factors involved in this phenomena. So the humans adapting to high altitude and desert animals adapting to heat can be the examples. If you know more examples, you can post in the comment section. Next, we are going to see what exactly physiological changes occur in this particular things, that is acclimation and acclimatization. What kind of physiological changes or alterations occur? So common physiological changes during acclimation and acclimatization occur is these are basically the process that maintain the homeostasis of the body, okay, and these are reversible and temporary process. Once the environmental conditions are come back to normal, if they come back to normal, then the process will be reversed. That will be the, so means it's a temporary adjustment and no genetic changes are involved in acclimation or acclimatization. Now if you talk about salinity changes, if you talk about the change in the salinity for aquatic organisms, osmoregulation adjustment they have to do, or changes in the ion transport they have to do, water retention or excretion changes they have. So all these are physiological changes that may occur on changing the salinity. Similarly, when there is temperature change, cold or heat exposure is there. So for example, cold exposure is there increased shivering or increased metabolic rate or vasoconstriction, constriction of a blood vessel, increased heat production for for ATP generation and adapting to heat. So these are adaptations or physiological changes during cold exposure. If you talk about the heat exposure, increased sweating or vasodilation, opposite of cold conditions, these adaptations may occur, these changes may occur. And during hypoxia, for example, increased RBC production or hemoglobin levels, better for the better oxygen transport, increased breathing patterns, altered breathing patterns, increased heart rate. These are the physiological changes under the when the person is exposed to hypoxia or high altitude. So these and according to the condition, according to the change in the environment, the acclimation and acclimatization will occur, and the physiological changes will be seen accordingly, will be occurring accordingly. So if you know more such conditions or more such terminologies or more such phenomena which come under acclimation or acclimatization, please do post in the comment section. And also let me know when you're coming from a hot environment which is outside, from the sunny environment into the room which is already cooled or air conditioned, what will happen to your body, whether it will be acclimatization or acclimation or none of this. So please do post in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to Biolingo. Like, share and subscribe to Life Science with Veena. Thank you.